Welcome, everyone. Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're bringing you a fast-paced, highly visual crash course on the ultimate building blocks of graphic design. Whether you're an aspiring designer, a freelancer looking to level up your services, or honestly, just someone who wants to understand why certain visuals look so incredibly satisfying, you are absolutely in the right place. We've distilled a massive, master-level curriculum into one streamlined journey, so buckle up, because we're going to cover everything from the very first foundational rules all the way to the wild psychology of color. But right off the bat, let's ask a super fundamental question. Why do we even need design in the first place? I mean, really think about it. Imagine you're trying to sell furniture. You could just scribble 50% off furniture on a boring, plain, text-heavy piece of paper. But let's be real, that is not going to engage anyone. Design is the magic that takes that flat, raw information and structures it. It instantly turns a standard product into something highly sellable. It literally catches the eye when someone is mindlessly scrolling and forces them to stop and pay attention. So, here's our game plan for today. We're kicking off with purpose and principles. Then we'll move into layout and hierarchy, dive into the power of typography, and finally wrap it up with understanding color theory. All right, let's jump straight into section 1, purpose and principles. This is your foundation. Now, the definition we're working with here is actually pretty fascinating. Graphic design, it isn't just about making things look pretty. It is a highly practical, ready-to-use skill. It's the deliberate process of transforming basic, raw information into an engaging, presentable, and most importantly, highly marketable format. As a designer, your actual job is to make ideas interesting enough to sell. You're basically a visual problem solver. And to solve those visual problems, you need a framework, right? This is absolutely crucial. You have to master the 4 golden rules. Think of them as the foundational pillars of design. They are contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity. Together, these 4 form the structural backbone for literally every successful visual layout you have ever seen. So let's break them down. First up, we've got contrast. If you slap dark text onto a dark background, the contrast is practically zero, and your message entirely disappears. Contrast ensures elements don't get lost in the shuffle. It's how you visually shout to the viewer, hey, this thing is completely different from that thing. You can pull this off through opposing colors, like bright white on deep black, or by putting a circle right next to a square, or even using a super thick, heavy font right next to a really thin one. Next is repetition. You know how some designs just feel perfectly unified while others look like a chaotic mess? Repetition is the secret sauce there. The rule of thumb is strict, but man, does it work. Pick a core theme or color, limit yourself to an absolute maximum of 2 to 3 fonts, and reuse those exact elements across your entire project. Repeating these patterns signals to the viewer's brain that yes, everything here is unified and totally intentional. Pillar number 3 is alignment, which is essentially bringing order to chaos. Believe it or not, our brains naturally love to follow straight and visible grid lines. You can align text to the left, which is highly readable. You can center it for a more formal, symmetrical vibe, or you can right align it for some stylized, edgy layouts. But whichever you pick, sticking to a strict alignment makes your work look incredibly clean and professional. And the final golden rule is proximity. This simply means related items should be grouped close together. Think of a sports team huddled up. Their physical closeness instantly tells you they belong together. And hey, notice the generous empty space around the text I'm showing you right now? That breathing room is totally intentional. White space, or negative space, is absolutely your best friend in design. It stops your work from feeling claustrophobic and lets your grouped elements really pop. Okay, we've got our golden rules locked in. Let's move on to section 2, layout and hierarchy. It's time to organize that blank canvas. Staring at a blank page can be intimidating, so here is one of the best mental tricks out there, the box method. Before you add a single photo or line of text, mentally or even physically, divide your canvas into invisible, manageable boxes. You might draw a massive box taking up half the page for your main image, a medium box just below it for the headline, and a tiny box in the corner for your logo. It completely kills that blank page anxiety. The reason the box method works so well is that it naturally establishes visual hierarchy. Hierarchy is just the order in which a viewer's eye travels through your design. Whatever is largest visually grabs them first. So an image with 50% of the visual weight pulls them in. Then their eye naturally drops to the headline at 30%, down to the smaller body text at 15%, and finally to the logo or button at 5%. You are quite literally controlling where your audience looks just by manipulating size. But as you're manipulating all those sizes, you have to maintain design balance. Actually, think of it like a visual seesaw. You need to arrange elements so their visual weights cancel each other out. If you drop a massive, heavy, dark image on the left side, your layout will immediately feel lopsided, like it's about to tip right over. You fix that by balancing it on the opposite side with text, a contrasting color, or even very deliberate, intentional white space. So, our layout is balanced. Let's shift gears and jump into section 3, the power of typography. Let's talk about fonts. You know, it's wild how much psychology goes into simply picking a font. The whole design world is basically split into two main camps, serif and sans serif. Check out the serif font. Notice those sharp little feet or edges? Those tiny details make it feel elegant, classic, and expensive. It literally sells luxury. But then look at the sans serif font. Clean edges, no feet. It communicates a vibe that's modern, minimal, and straightforward. Picking the wrong one can entirely ruin your brand's message. Once you've actually picked your font, you've got to space it correctly. Let's do a rapid-fire rundown of these micro adjustments because they make a massive difference in how readable your text is. Kerning is when you tweak the space between just two individual letters so they sit nicely together. Tracking pulls out or pushes in the spacing uniformly across a whole word. And leading, that's adjusting the vertical breathing room between full lines of text. Oh, and while we're talking about fonts, I have to share the ultimate designer sin. Please burn this quote into your memory. Never stretch a font without holding the Shift key. Distorting a font's natural proportions, lazily dragging it from the sides so it looks all squished or stretched out, is hands down the fastest way to make your design look incredibly amateur. Always, always scale proportionally. All right, moving right along to our final and arguably most psychologically impactful block, Section 4, Color Theory Basics. I want you to consider the number 90. This is a stunning psychological fact from our sources today. People subconsciously decide whether they like a product or design in 90 seconds or less. And get this, a massive percentage of that split-second decision is based almost entirely on its color alone. But before you even pick a color, you have to pick your color mode. This isn't optional, it is an absolute technical necessity. Designing for screens, digital art, or a website, you must use RGB, red, green, blue. But if you're designing a physical flyer or business card that's going to a physical printer, you have to switch to CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. If you design an RGB and try to print it, well, your colors will look completely washed out and ruined. Don't say I didn't warn you. Here's a huge takeaway. You really don't need a million different colors to make a gorgeous design. You can take just one single hue, which is the pure exact color, and just play with it. Add a little white, you get a lighter tint. Add some gray, you get a sophisticated muted tone. Add black, and boom, you get a rich, darker shade. You can build an entire beautiful brand palette from just one single hue. Now, if you do want to combine different colors, don't just guess. Rely on these mathematical bulletproof color schemes. Complementary uses two colors exactly opposite each other on the color wheel, like red and green for high energy. Analogous takes three colors sitting right next to each other, which creates a super calm, serene feel. And triadic, that grabs three colors that form a perfect equal triangle on the wheel. Stick to these cheat codes and your designs will always look harmonious. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to focus on this core ethos from the source material. Keep it simple and remember that a good design always has plenty of breathing space. Complexity absolutely does not equal quality. Piling on more elements is never going to save a bad layout. Just stick to the principles, limit your fonts, use a math-backed color scheme, and let that white space do the heavy lifting for you. Wow, we have covered a massive amount of ground today. From those golden rules of contrast and proximity, to the hidden psychology of serif fonts, all the way to the strict science of CMYK color modes. You are now officially armed with the ultimate designer's toolkit, so the real fun begins now. Let me ask you, what blank canvas are you going to conquer first? Get out there, apply these building blocks, and start creating something truly marketable. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.